Welcome to K-Play Fest 2026, and this is my fifth or sixth K-Play, I believe. So this is my media vlog, and we'll be talking about stuff that worked, stuff that didn't work for me this year. And this K-Play is usually one of my favorites because I come in on setup day, very little problems, and there's less cars, less traffic, and I can set up on the day without having any distractions or really big issues come up. The only thing I will say here is you're seeing me walk in. That is how long it took me to walk in. Obviously, this is sped up. That is the gist of it. Where I parked, it was relatively close. But usually, if they make you park farther, then it takes longer to get into the venue. And that becomes an issue on setup days. And I just decided to come in early on the day of setup, which is the day before. So my table is at K-Play Fest, which is the K-pop side. Then the other conventions are Anime Impulse, which is the parent company to K-Play Fest, and Collections Expo, and as well as the Asian American Expo. The setup for me takes between 2 to 3 hours, depending on how much stuff I am setting up, and you'll see my process here. Normally, I have a sketch of how I'm gonna have it. For this instance, I didn't have any sketches, and I was kind of like going along as I was thinking, pretty much setting up as what I thought would be best as I was setting up these squares. If you're wondering like where did I got Amazon, if you don't want to support Amazon, I believe it's the artist or the artist booth. I'll link it somewhere around here that you can buy their squares from them. They are an Australian company, so you're buying it from the States, it might get a little expensive. Some people sketch it out by hand, pencil, paper. Some people use Sketch It Up, which is like a digital platform that you can make like a 3D render or like a 2D render on there if you want to be more visual and digital about it. I wanted to display my desk mat designs, which I wanted them to go in the front, as well as to have a place where all my PC holders can hang, usually arm's reach or be right at eye level. Here, I decided that I wanted to do 6 levels up instead of the 5 that I usually do. Unfortunately, by the time I was trying to add the 6th row, the middle portion of my square started to cave in, and I had to switch out the connectors that I usually use, and then I had to zip tie it in the middle. 6 tall ended up being too heavy for me, so I ended up just going back to my 5, which makes things a little less heavy and a lot more easier for me to like lift later on. I try to be really flexible when it comes to this and not stick to a certain plan, just so I'm not as stressed when I'm setting up. I am 5'4", so trying to get this on the table was kind of hard. If you have an assistant on setup day, it's not much of a problem, but I tend to do this stuff on my own. And you see that side kind of dip low, and ultimately what ended up happening was I ended up having a plastic square touch on the bottom there. When you're dealing with a very top heavy setup, your setup is prone to fall forward and just completely break apart. So in order to avoid that, make sure you have something heavy in the front or in the back to prevent it from moving forward or backwards. So right now I'm putting up my sign that says that I make K-pop inspired Mexican merch. And I saw this tip online. A lot of people use like 3D printed stuff, but I made mine out of printed paper and a laminator. And I made it look like papel picado because that's one of my most best selling designs that I have as a PC holder. And it's just something that I wanted to make sure that people knew, like, hey, this is K-pop stuff, but also like I'm Mexican and it's fan made merch. And I decided to do that after seeing very little Mexican related shops in the K-pop realm. This was back in like 2020. At the time, I believe it was maybe like 3 or 4 of us, at least is what I found. Mexican American side might be. I didn't see a lot of merchandise that related to my upbringing here in the United States. A lot of my merch, it has to do with like music and things like the Mexican diaspora, as well as just combining two things that are usually found in fandom and in the culture and making it kind of like in the fandom realm. The desk mats, they have Dia de los Muertos sugar skulls for the kazoo characters that are by Stray Kids, and then the other one is the hot pink one that has all my papel picado designs on there. Unfortunately for this convention, no one really wanted to buy it. Maybe pricing was too high, which was at 40. Although I did walk on the anime side and I saw someone selling their desk mats, which were around the same sizing, and those were $50. So also taking into account the economy, probably not that great. Spending power isn't that high right now, and just maybe considering that I am niche, so a lot of my stuff isn't gonna necessarily resonate with everybody, and that is okay. For display, I did make a banner out of paper up there. It is printed out using ink, and I was gonna laminate it, but I realized that if I were to laminate it in one go, my sheets are all individually made, so I wasn't able to laminate them at home. All the sugar skulls you see on there up top are designs I have on sticker sheets, and I just printed them out and laminated them as decoration. All my stickers, individual stickers, are on laminated sheets as well, and all of them are numbered, so it's easy to just grab based off of someone telling me a number, and I grab it out of my storage system. It makes things a lot quicker and faster if they just give me a number and then I'm able to just grab it. My signs for pricing, I changed them up this year, and normally they're the papel picado designs that I have, and I made them a little bit bigger and clearer to read, and they are inspired by Mexican grocery store signs that I saw online. Finished product of probably like 3 hours because I started around 11:23 and it's now almost 3 p.m. Finished this setup right here. And yeah, normally I don't have like this mats, that's right here today. And because the table is so thick, I can't clamp it down, so I just put heavy stuff on the back to like keep it secure. If I stuff, I know I'm pretty, so hopefully people find it interesting enough to visit and purchase things. The cutouts are for visibility, like to attract them in. I have levels for each one, so I have stickers for eye level, S mats are eye level, sticker sheets are eye level as well. Pouches and PC holders are usually at eye level because that's what has people attention in, so that's kind of so like. This is day one of K Play Fest, and I want to say that I wanted to film so many clips and show you around the anime side and the Collections Expo and the Asian American Expo. But unfortunately, when I got into the venue, or at least by the time I got into the venue, it was 10 minutes before opening of doors, which I got there at 9:45 and the doors opened at 10. And I was unable to film anything or much of anything really for day one and day two. The crowds were slower than last year, I noticed. And depending on what you sell, you might make your table back the first day entirely. If you sell clothing, you might make it back within the first hour. It just depends what you have, really. And I tried to diversify more this year. I had more sticker sheets, desk mats are new. Buttons, plush buttons were new. Deals, sticker deals, I try to have as well. So normally I have sticker sheets for $7 each, or they can buy a set of 5 for 20. My stickers, my individual ones, they can buy 4 for each sticker, or they can buy a set of 4 for $10. But I believe when I was filming this, this was towards more the end of the day for day one, and there weren't a lot of people. It was just people walking around, trickling in from Anime Impulse if they were. What I noticed when I was walking around is most of the people are concentrated in Anime Impulse. There's barely any room to walk, and you're kind of pushing your way out to walk within the aisles. Compared to K Play side, there's usually very empty rows, and this year, and you can see from my footage here, there's an empty table there, meaning they did not sell that table and a vendor did not buy it. There was a lot of that going on. So next to me was a vendor, and then next to her, empty table. On the left side of me, there was a vendor, and the table next to her was also empty. And then the more you walk towards the back, there was more empty spaces or just no tables at all. I believe in one row there was also like a photo op, random photo op, just to like kind of cover the fact that there's no table there. I believe the K Play side has no real like pull factor when it comes to having attendance come. I believe 2 to 3 years ago they had like K-pop idol come, having influencers and maybe dance groups that come in. Yeah, that's one type of pull, but it's not something that will bring in the customers or attendees just to come and pay for random dance play and then leave right after. So after all, I did make under just my table. I paid $4.25 for my table, and I was about $30 away from making it back for day one. And if you really want to know what I thought of it, but at the end of the day, I did have ramen as a kind of pick me up afterwards. This is day two, and all I have to show for it is this Gojo car. I swear I really tried hard to show up and take some good video of the grounds and the different things they have to offer. But apparently the New Yorker said no, not today that day. We left early, we get to the entrance, and boom, huge line. There was a swap meet happening on the grounds on the same day as the convention, so instead of getting in at 9, I got in on the whopping time of 10 a.m. Let's see what we can find for snacks. So the Pomona Fairplex tends to hold three different conventions, 3 to 4 different conventions at the same time. They have Anime Impulse K-Play Fest, Collections Expo, and then along with that, in the same like area, they have Asian American Expo. I love the Asian American Expo because they have snacks, and that's exactly what I'm gonna go do. This box has cookies in it, and I legit only bought it because it has a lucky cat on it, and it has all the cookie options. I bought these ones because I liked the sample they gave me, and it was really cheap. The seaweed flavor, and then they gave me this one for free, seafood flavored ramen. These were really cheap too, so I bought like 4. They gave me the squid flavor, and then my holy grail purchase is the urban snacks. So I got salmon. I really love salmon, so I got those. I got the seaweed flavored ones, and then I got the potato chips flavored ones. And then because I bought a lot of the Irving's chips, they let me spin a wheel, and then I ended up getting this red envelope from them. So that is my snack haul. Live from K-Play Fest today. It's the second day, so the last day, and hopefully I make some sales because yesterday was kind of slow. And I am by the very loud K-Play Fest stage. If you come with me, we're gonna ask BTS some questions about their tour, and then see if they're gonna answer me. So, BTS, what do you think about the tour? Do you think Army can afford the tour tickets? Can we afford tour tickets? No answer. Okay, Jungkook, do you have any answers to that question? Okay, Jay, do you have any answers to the question? Can Army afford concert tickets? No. Yogi, my brother, do you have any answers to that question? No? Okay. Namjoon, leader of BTS, do you think armies can afford ticket prices this year? Yeah, they gave me no answer. So we're screwed, Army. We can't afford any concert tickets this year. Great. So after all this planning, purchasing, and selling, what did I make? Let's break it down. I spent 254 on food that includes meals for myself and my assistant, snacks, water, coffee, breakfast, what have you. My table was $425, parking was $42. I made ribbons this year to start the tradition, which cost me $116. Materials like new merchandise, equipment, or extra items, I spent $684. Again, accounts for my desk mats, new stickers, PC holders, ink for my printing signs, and new displays. That amount includes the desk mats, which were made in limited amounts, but also they were the most expensive item. An additional $53 for merch purchases for my assistant as an extra payment, and so that's their extra form of payment. You might not have to do this with your own assistant, but I offer it as an extra help for being there to assist me and also keep me organized. I spent $38 for gas since I'm more of a local. I spent 105 on purchases for myself, including snacks and clothing items and shopping from other fellow vendors. I usually keep this on the lower end, but I wanted clothes this year, so I bought a t-shirt. So after all this hard work and passion, I spent $918 and made 698. Yay. It's very discouraging making what I do when people don't give it a chance. And granted, it's not for everybody and it's not going to resonate with everybody. That is okay. I am here trying to get found, so that is the important part. So in the end, I was in the negative $228. Is there areas to lower my expenses? Yes. This year, I'm limiting my merchandise drops to one set collection and hoping that helps with visibility, as well as making these videos. Getting found is what is hard for me, and getting purchasers. In 2026, my shop turns 6 years old, so we'll see how this year turns out for me. Thanks for watching. To keep up with my life as a part-time fan artist, follow down below.